My following went from 2K to 160K now.
Wow! Oh, go toilet before show all the time, man.
Yeah. COVID, we were framed as non-essential, but at that point in time, we were very essential.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of Chatterbox. I'm Viddsee, your host, and today's episode is going to be all about the performing arts in Singapore. Now, I've got three very special guests, but I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Kate Willis. I'm a dancer and a dance instructor and a dance mentor in the street dance industry in Singapore. I am a mom of two and probably the oldest amongst the four respectful talents here.
Hi, my name is Shaza. I am a singer-songwriter. I'm born and raised here in Singapore. A fun fact about me is that I know the Thomas and Friends theme song by heart.
Wow!
Even the rap.
Hey guys, my name's Evan. I'm a music producer, most well known for writing the song The Road Ahead, the National Day 2021 theme song, and music director for Band King. One of my songs has ATM card inside, so hey.
And the reason why they got me to host this episode, even though most people know me as a content creator, I also dabble a little bit with theatre.
Oh, fun fact!
So we're gonna start this episode with a little bit of a game called Fact or Cap. Now, so if the statement I read out is true, you will show us the happy face side of the paddle, and if it's false or cap, you'll show us the sad face of the paddle, alright? Are you guys ready?
Yeah, let's go!
Let's go.
You cannot earn a living out of arts in Singapore. Is it fact or cap?
Okay.
Okay, no?
I disagree that you cannot earn.
It's not impossible, yeah.
Singapore government is also very much supportive of dance, especially in their school curriculums now. So there definitely is more job offers for my people.
Definitely possible that we get to do this for a living because I've been doing this for a decade, more than a decade now, and I agree with you completely because I think the general populist idea of, let's say for us, the music industry, there's a certain idea or certain job roles, but actually they do not realize there's a whole ecosystem like yours. So it is possible, and I think we just need to be aware that all these other ecosystems support the more obvious ones.
At the stage that I'm at now, I feel like I'm investing in my career. So I don't necessarily see many returns yet, but I am hoping. And I think in general, looking at, so many people have made it work. So, there's a reason why our industry exists today still. So yes, I think it's possible.
Singaporeans appreciate and have positive attitudes towards performing arts. Jang, jang, jang! Be honest, ah!
Generally they do, as in, you see the support that they have for arts. You see like Taylor Swift,
understand.
They flock to go because they appreciate art, I think, in that sense.
I feel like it's a 50-50.
Okay.
Only because, yes, we do get supports, but really a lot from our friends or from our fellow community. But otherwise, if it's just the general public who is not much, they don't have much awareness of what street dance is, it's kind of hard to break that barrier from
the stigma.
Yeah, from the stigma. But like with the youth now, the new generation now, where they're much more open to learning. I would say learning.
I quite echo your statement because as you can see, I'm quite 50-50 about
Oh, you
this.
could do that? How do you do that?
I would say the public has a certain consumer behavior on what they might like. My philosophy is like, oh, if you haven't heard of my music, okay, then I have to work harder to make sure you like and hear my music. I do not want to pin it on the general populace. I want to make sure that I work hard enough to make sure that they understand and they like it.
Something I've realized when I've been reflecting on this is that Singaporeans tend to look outward, and I think we've had to do that a lot because we are a young country. That also has made its way into the way that we consume art here. I think we always tend to look at the international things as the good one. But I've gotten some comments where people are like, wow, this song is so nice. I thought it was by an international artist. I'm like, and it's like, I'm glad you liked it. But at the same time, it's like, oh, why does it have to be international? Because it's good.
Oh my God, girl, you said it. She said it. She said it.
Yeah, okay, very interestingly, personal appreciation of art declined marginally from 2021. So that's a little sad news for us. I think it's also because of the state of the world. I think 2021 was slightly after COVID.
And
I think a lot of people were having a little bit of fatigue. Next statement, the participation in arts has increased over the years. You agree or disagree?
Oh,
I guess.
yeah.
Yes.
I think maybe your generation has not, or during your development years, right, have not experienced live music, and now there's this huge influx of desire to really
Appreciate it,
just
go and
show a show of
experience
force, passion. Oh, I love this song so much. I have to watch this
And
guy.
hear it live, you know what I mean?
Yeah, if there's anything good that comes out of COVID, it's this.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
really love it.
I agree with everything. The same way with dance, everything went back up and all the events were all happening at the same time. It was kind of overwhelming.
Very nice. All right, now overall, arts attendance, either physically or digitally, was 83% in 2022, a 4% increase from 2021.
That's interesting. So the interest declined.
Yeah, but participation increased. Thank you guys for all your very interesting insights. But now I've got some more icebreaker questions to really get into the nitty-gritty of this topic. All right, what is your favorite arts-related show and why?
Everyone thinking I whack first. So
Okay,
I
go.
was in Kyoto.
Okay.
And this thing called Ambient Kyoto, and they paid tribute to their local composer Ryuichi Sakamoto. They took over this abandoned railway, and they just put like speakers all around, and they played a projection of his album art just there for a few hours. I just sat there and just like cried to see the community, the local community, show so much love for him at that scale. To me, a true love, a true thank you to his passing. So to me, it was just like, I was really moved by that. The whole art festival also involves smell, sight, taste.
Interesting.
Yeah, which I love. So like to me, it's like a melding of all our different arts together. And I was just like, I was very refreshed by it.
Not to be like self-absorbed, but my favorite experience was putting together my first showcase
Okay.
with this group of musicians that I worked with, because one of my favorite parts of making music is the collaborative process, and you see what it transforms into.
It's a feeling, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like you can't. It has to be at that moment. No one can take that feeling away, and you can't even explain it.
Yeah.
When you mix that with a lot of different people from different backgrounds, especially from different cultures, there's so much more of what this world or this art form has to offer. So it's that kind of language that we all share. That's where I feel like this is where I belong. This is my world. This is my thing.
One of the things that I recently appreciated or been introduced to is the world of ballroom culture.
Nice!
I love.
Did you go, Crystal?
Yes, I did.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my god,
Inclusivity.
it's so amazing. So we're gonna dive into the discussion proper. Now we're gonna find out a little bit more about the performing arts scene in Singapore. So as mentioned earlier, Singapore has witnessed a remarkable growth in its performing arts scene, which contributes to the vibrancy and richness of Singapore's cultural landscape. Now, what do you think of the overall performing arts scene in Singapore?
What I appreciate about it is that it's very Singaporean in the sense that if you know somebody, you know everyone. It's so small. I think that's something that's quite beautiful about it, is that it's so interconnected, even if you don't know it, you know. So that's something I appreciate about it.
I agree with Shaza because it's tight-knit, but it's incredibly also professional, because I've been on tour for many years of my life, and I've seen artists and musicians from like decades older than me, and people that are around my age to like late 20s that have been touring the world playing for these phenomenal musicians. We were able to help each other grow very quickly.
Interestingly, that you mentioned about internationally, right? How do you think our performing arts scene in Singapore compares to those internationally?
Oh my gosh, it's insane. Like, like we have the best session musicians playing for the biggest acts. They are actually creating space for people like us, in the background to create this huge ecosystem that can elevate the rest of us together.
I feel like we're slowly making our way there.
Yeah.
I think slowly people are appreciating music for music or dance for dance and not having to label them as Singaporean or anything. Yeah. What is it like being part of the scene in your own personal capacity? Wow. Okay, maybe I can start.
Okay, go.
Maybe I will start. Maybe I'll
Good.
give you warm up, right? Now, I am not a full-time arts practitioner, right? Over the years, I did go back into the theatre space a little bit, just because I feel like I still felt that creative itch. So I did a bit of musical theatre. Even if I'm not actively pursuing as a full-time career, there are still very many options for you to do it on the side. I do want to encourage more and more people to actually look at it as something that they can pursue alongside what they do for their day job.
I do agree with you because I also had a more practical approach.
Yep.
Where I'm a pop guy and did start out straight up pop. Balance doing this to a point where it's a full-time thing. It still takes a while to get there. And I think Singapore is a great place to kind of get your beak wet, and till the moment where it's time to transit. And I think the community has been incredibly encouraging. We empathize, we sympathize, we'll get you there if your head is in the right space. So I am very happy to be in here and I don't really want to leave.
Yay, I love that. I love to hear that.
Okay, having done this for so many years, to be honest, it's a constant battle.
Okay.
Yeah, especially for me now because I'm a mother. And even that transition period to becoming a mother and just realizing like how, is there a time limit into what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Because like for me physically, being a dancer, you're an athlete and athletes have a very short career span. So you're already like, even though you're already thinking, what do I do if this is done? And your career, in our career, it can be done at any given time. Injury could be an issue, could be a factor. In reality, it's like, I've been doing this for 10 years. My students have grown, so regenerating a new group of students, why would they want to take your class if all the younger people are also like, are like as good as you now? My theory is, if my body can still do it, I will dance for as long as I can.
Let's go.
And I'm gonna keep learning and growing for as long as I can. And I'm gonna just make sure that's passed on, patch the torch forward to my students and my mentees, and and as long as my kids can be inspired by their mother, all right. All right, kids.
It's something that I am hyper aware of, which I think it's about reframing your perspective on it. So for me, it's like, okay, when I'm done with this, what do I want to do? And I would love to go into the back end of it as well one day. So it's nice to think of it that way.
That's the truth of it, lah. You
have to roll with the punches. For me, what I've also realized is you have to keep falling in love with it.
In your art.
It gets tedious. You have to love it enough to overlook that part.
Now, what role does the performing arts play in our society?
Personally, for me, from my perspective, the stuff we put out at a certain time is, to me, for music, an audible timestamp of the circumstances of the world at that point in time. To me, it's just all these little perspectives and viewpoints of the world there and then. And I try to kind of cement my perspective, my sound, or this generation's sound onto 3 minutes. And I think it's, to me, that's what it means for performing arts, or actually just watch someone's perspective of the world, their perspective of the world, their viewpoint, their voice of the current circumstances, and to be dramatized. Everyone has a voice, and I love to hear the perspective. So to me, that's that.
I feel like performing art is such an integral part of our existence as human beings. It's something that has been around since eons ago, you know what I mean? And people tell stories through that art form. It's such an important part of being alive because it helps us to connect with other human beings. How other people, interpret that art, that's what gives it additional meaning, and that's what connects us all.
I definitely think it's very important in the society. Like you mentioned, COVID, we were kind of, framed as non-essential. But at that point in time, we were very essential. People did not want to just sit in at their homes. They wanted, I want to get up, I want to exercise. What's a dance class? What can I do? We were actually essential.
I mean, people who really think we're non-essential, I just want you to imagine if you didn't have any music in your life, you didn't have any, people producing.
You are consuming some sort of performing art,
For sure.
There is without a doubt.
Instrument also can.
All right, now that we have a little bit more information about the state of the performing arts in Singapore, we want to learn a little bit more about the growing industry as well as how we can support its expansion. Now, I have a little bit of a fact here. Now, the performing arts industry here in Singapore has made some significant contributions to Singapore. Now, in 2018, preliminary figures show that the performing arts contributed $274.2 million value added. How do organizations in Singapore support the performing arts?
I mean, the most typical answer would actually be, the grants and stuff like that. But
NAC, National Arts Council.
yeah, I think in the past NYC, NCCY also with Shine Festival and the rest and the different mentorship programs. I think it's fantastic. There's also the mentorship programs, which I absolutely love because you get to discover young talent and also develop them and provide the platform for them to perform. Yeah, organizations that actually provide venues. For example, a simple one, Scape, where they recently Isaac, Music Day Out. Shout out Isaac.
Yes.
So I think they set up a beautiful music festival, supporting all these upcoming acts.
The setup looked really nice.
It's sick. Yeah, just back-to-back stages in one square room. Beautiful.
It's like a trial and error thing also,
Right.
right? At this stage, you don't really know what's going to work for this community, and we're trying to figure out how Singaporeans respond to these initiatives and everything. So having organizations, continuously having faith in us in spite of, the ups and downs of this is so important, because if you don't make mistakes, you won't learn from it. I have received the National Arts Council grants, and those have been very helpful in, obviously it doesn't cover all the, because it is quite a huge, depending on how much you want to do, it can cost quite a bit, but it's taken so much strain off of me financially, and it makes a big difference, because that's one of the main concerns when you're doing this. And for myself as a student with not much of an income. Shout out to NAC for the funding and for the support, because it really helps to uplift us up and coming artists and give us a space and the means to make this happen for ourselves.
I think they've created a space, like a free open dance studio with mirrors and everything at different areas in Singapore. But there's a thing, it's great, but I think they just, let's just plot this locations, free dance studios. But you have to understand, all these locations is extreme one into the other, right? It's kind of hard to really go from one extreme to the other. So I don't know, I think one way is to really gain feedback. Go to the community and talk to us. What do you think we can improve on? What do you guys need? Because randomly we just found out about these studios. But we appreciate it, of course we do. But it's just...
for the best results.
Yeah, for the best result, talk to us. That's what I would ideally, in the perfect world.
So speaking about one of the most positive experiments and initiatives, I think, when we're talking about the theme of organization, right, one of the coolest things they've done for the music scene, right, is I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's something that's with SMRT, NAC, and the Tung Ensemble. So what has happened? Yes. So just for those who don't know, they have created a musical jingle for each station. And I think it's really cool, and a positive side effect is that it really helped the blind, because they actually created an audible identity for each station.
Very interesting.
So on top of the narration, of course, but the audible identity also really helped.
It's just a proof that arts is all around us. You cannot run away from it.
But I honestly feel as well, we should start bringing back the busking. And just kind of make it alive physically again. I
think one of the key, hindrances when it comes to, being a busker is the fact that there's a lot of red tape involved, right? You would have to actually apply for a permit, you have to audition, you have to get, spots. It's actually a very interesting concept, this idea of busking. It's not like overseas where, you can just set up a bus, bring your stuff, and you are set.
You're good to go,
It's very different. Now, what do you think about that in Singapore especially?
Now, I understand there needs to be a little bit more crowd control for popular spaces where it's guaranteed there can be a higher chance.
Smart atria.
But I also see the side effects of, just everyone fighting for it. It's great, but I think it's it should be a scene where everyone's helping each other, and I do feel it's getting quite unhealthy, and I want them to really do well.
I understand that I'm sure they have their purpose for it, but I think it needs to be revisited, especially with the times too.
How can youth play a part in supporting the performing arts scene in Singapore?
I think what I've seen from my peers is that they are very involved in their own way, you know, and even if you're not making music, you know, I've seen young people who want to be there, want to be a part of it, you know, and I think that's the best way to support at this point also, is like coming down to support artists at their shows, because having your own people there, like, it makes a big difference, you know, and having that vibe of that youthful energy, you know. I love performing to older audiences. They're lovely, but when you have like the young crowd there and they're like hyping you up even more, it makes it a little different, you know.
Energy is different.
Yeah.
But I also do think it's also up to us to create that easier entryway into that. So, for example, you know, it could be a clear marketing plan, and I think we need to work in tandem together to make sure that happens. And I'm sure that, I mean, the natural way is to come to shows and stuff like that, but you also want...
They need to know about the shows, like,
yeah, you
right?
know about the shows.
Yeah, it takes two hands to clap, for sure.
Yeah, and you also want to keep them. You want them to keep coming back to your shows. So I think creating a bond is important.
I think it's the saying, like, the young ones look very adult now. And because they honestly know what's going on. They're woke. They know, okay, you know, in TikTok, they have this thing now. Like, listen, Miss Kate, I learned this from TikTok. And I'm just like, what is this? Like, you know how you can film your class? You know, how can you, what kind of... So they're very up to date. And like you mentioned, they're very hands-on, and they're very, their contribution is quite a lot in these days.
TikTok, in fact, they now have like TikTok music, for example, and they're investing a lot of resources into musicians, right? Have you guys had any interactions with TikTok that has helped you?
Yeah, for sure. So I recently went viral for this. Crash Adams is this Canadian American duo who go around getting artists to kind of freestyle on their songs and stuff. So I was given the opportunity to do that, and it went well, and my following went from 2K to 160K now.
Wow! I love that for you.
Yeah, it really showed me the power of social media.
Well, as you can see, the paddles are back. And for our final segment, we're going to play a game of yay or nay. Now, if you agree with a statement, you're going to show us the happy face for yay. And if you don't agree with it, you're going to show us the sad face on the paddle for nay. All right? Are you guys ready?
All right, let's go!
Everyone can sing. Yay or nay? Okay, why? Why do you say no, Kate?
Yeah, I feel like you have to carry a tune. That's one. That's it.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean,
for the musicians,
I think everyone has the potential to sing well. You know, it's just about sometimes some people. Okay, I'm sure some people are born with, you know, with a natural talent for it. You know, then there are people who go and get training for it. It's possible for sure. Yeah.
Out of most of the instruments, vocals is a muscle that actually can be trained.
You need to be naturally talented to be part of the art scene. We kind of delved into it. Go for it. All disagree. Why?
You have to be human to appreciate art. Like, that's it. That's all you need. It's just to be a human being. Because that's how we connect with you. You don't need to be good at it to appreciate it.
It's not about your innate, for us, musical ability. No, it's not. It's about your ability to connect with the audience, about to tap into the emotional psyche of the human being, the listeners, the audiences. And I think if you have that, some of the best musicians I know do not know a shred of theory or know how, or just know what's the science, the technology behind it, but they're able to just put forth an emotion so sincere that people just love.
It's about authenticity.
So
stage fright is real.
I go toilet before show all the time, man.
Yeah.
Confirm.
Yeah.
Outside every time.
I poo every time. Like, my body
burp.
just knows.
Oh my god. I can tell you that 100%. Even for me, I do this so much, and even hosting things, I still get nervous.
So what do you guys do to calm yourselves down from your stage fright? Mine usually is I pray.
Okay.
I pray.
Same.
Yes. And I don't know, like I make weird noises.
Okay.
I just go,
For me, because I'm a music director, right, a lot of times I try to like galvanize the band, right, or just steal them together, right. One of the rituals I do is just get a huddle together and we say 1, 2, 3, right, strong and wrong.
I love
1, 2, 3,
that.
strong and wrong. Just have to believe in it so hard. They're like, oh, mistake, I'm feeling it. And they're like,
Other than that, I think the acknowledgement of like, yeah, I feel scared about this, you know. It always helps to be doing it with other people also, because you can rely on that energy.
Final statement. Performing arts is a new thing or a trend in Singapore. Do you agree? Do you agree it's just a trend?
A trend?
I don't think it's a trend at all. You know, it's been around for the longest time. But performing arts culture here is actually very rich. People just don't know much about it.
Even in the olden times, kings and queens, they would call for entertainers.
Bards.
Somebody entertain me, dance, sing.
Yes.
So like, obviously trends come and go. But I feel like that's part of the culture.
For sure. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed that game. To wrap up the episode, I have one final question for you guys. Now, think properly, huh? All right, any final words for our viewers or youths out there who would like to be part of the performing arts industry?
It's a wonderful and very inviting industry, and we're very open to people coming in and everything. And I think if you know what you want to do, if you want to give it a shot, if you feel you have something to say with your art, you should hold on to that.
Just come and perform. And I think, you know, there's a lot of performance anxiety. There's a lot of people just being anxious about just being on any sort of platform or stage. You realize that actually, you know, people do want you to succeed. There is a community here to support you, to encourage you to do well. So don't be afraid, take the leap of faith.
Invest in yourself. The time to invest in yourself is now. This industry is the key to success is forever growing, forever learning. I go with the philosophy of like, the best teachers are always the best students. Yeah. Keep learning forever. Like we are forever students.
To kind of wrap it all up, I feel like if you're a youth out there, you're very lucky. You're living in a time where resources are so readily available for you. And in fact, if you wanted to pursue this and put in the effort, you can do that.
Yes.
So it's a matter of just taking the time, investing in yourself, and putting the effort into perfecting your craft.
Yeah.
And with that, we have come to the end of our episode. Thank you very much to our guests.
Thank you for having us.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
And until next time, I'm Viddsee. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Ciao.
Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this episode,
Please like,
Share.
Comment.
and subscribe.